Hi guys, I'm Angelo de la Cruz from the La Salle University of Los Marinas and ang experiment natin ngayon is about universal gates. The objective of this experiment is to acquaint the students with the nature of operations of different universal gates and to enable the students to construct the basic logic gates using combinational universal gates. So unang part ng gagawin natin is NAND gate. So gawin muna natin yung circuit. So connect natin yung power supply positive and negative. Sunod yung IC. Ginamit na IC dito is 74LS00N. Then, resistor. Connect natin siya sa pangatlong slot which is yung 1Y. Then, LED. Then, yung input A and input B. Input A. Then, input B. Then, sunod natin, i-ground natin yung mga unit parts. Tapos, i-ground din natin tong IC. Then, connect natin yung IC sa power supply. Then, try natin yung circuit. If input A is equal to 0, then input B is equal to 0. Output is equal to 1. Meaning, umilaw yung LED. Input A is equal to 0, then input B is equal to 1. May ilaw pa rin yung LED. Meaning, output is equal to 1. Input A is equal to 1. Input B is equal to 0. May ilaw yung LED. Meaning, output is equal to 1. Input A and B is equal to 1. Walang ilaw yung LED. Meaning, output is equal to 0. So, sa pangalawang part is yung EDNAT combinational circuit. So, connect muna natin yung power supply. Then, yung dalawang IC. Which is 74LS08N and 74LS04M. Then, connect natin yung input A and input B. Then, connect natin yung IC1 and sa IC2. Tapos, connect natin yung resistor. Then, yung LED. Tapos, VCC ng IC1 and IC2. Tapos, i-ground natin yung mga component. Then, try natin yung circuit. So, kung input A and B is equal to 0, ang LED is may ilaw, meaning output is equal to 1. Then, input A is equal to 0, then input B is equal to 1. May ilaw yung LED, meaning output is equal to 1. Input A is equal to 1. Input B is equal to 0. May ilaw yung LED, meaning output is equal to 1. Both input A and B is equal to 1. Walang ilaw yung LED, meaning output is equal to 0. So, ang pangatlong part na experiment is OR operation using NAND gates. So, ang ginamit kong IC dito is 7400. So, ito yon. Then, 1 and 2 is nakakonect na siya dun sa first input. Then, 4 and 5 nakakonect na siya dun sa second input, input B. Then, yung 10 and 9 nakakonect na dun sa 3 and 6 slot ng IC. Then, output, LED, and resistor. Then, naka-ground na yung dalawa. Tapos, naka-connect na siya sa power supply. Then, try natin yung input and output. So, input A and input B is equal to 0. Walang ilaw, meaning output is equal to 0. Then, input B is equal to 1. Then, input A is equal to 0. May ilaw, meaning output is equal to 1. Input A is equal to 1. Then, input B is equal to 0. May ilaw, ibig sabihin output is equal to 1. Then, input A is equal to 1, then input B is equal to 1, output is equal to 1, may ilaw yung LED. So sa part 4 na experiment, ito yung end operation using NAND gates. So ginamit dito is 7400. Then pinag-connect ko na lang yung 1 and 2 as input A and B, then kinonect ko yung 4 and 5 sa 3. Then yung 6 slot is ginawa kong resistor, then LED, then ginround ko yung IC, then yung LED. Tapos using yung blue connecting wires, pinag-connect ko yung 4 and 5 sa 3. Then power supply, then BCC connected to sa power supply. Then try natin yung circuit. So, 0 and 0. Input A and B is equal to 0. Hindi umilaw yung LED, meaning output is equal to 0. Then, B is equal to 1. A is equal to 0. Hindi umilaw yung LED, meaning output is equal to 0. Input A is equal to 1. Input B is equal to 0. Hindi umilaw yung LED, meaning output is equal to 0. Then, input A is equal to 1, input B is equal to 1. Umilaw yung LED, meaning output is equal to 1. So, ang part 5 na experiment is about NOR operation. So, ang ginawa ko dito is, yung apat na IC is ginawa ko na lang isa. Then, yung 1 and 2, pinag-connect ko siya sa input. Ito yon, input A. Then, 4 and 5, pinag-connect ko siya sa input B. Then, yung 10 and 9, which is yung nasa likod, pinag-connect ko siya sa 3. Then, yung 4 and 5, yung nasa harap, pinag-connect ko siya dito sa isang slot. Then, yung 12 and 13, yung nasa likod, pinag-connect ko siya doon sa green, which is yung nasa slot 8. Then, 11 as yung output. Then, yun na. Then, try natin yung circuit. So, input A is equal to 0. Input A is equal to 0. Then, input B is equal to 0. Output umilaw, meaning output is equal to 1. Input A is equal to 0. Input B is equal to 1. Hindi umilaw yung LED, meaning output is equal to 0. Walang ilaw. Input A is equal to 1. Then, input B is equal to 0. Walang ilaw. 0 yung output. Both A and B is equal to 1. Walang ilaw, meaning output is equal to 0. So, part 6 na experiment is OR operation using NOR gate. So, buuin muna natin yung circuit using IC 7402. So, first is input A and B. Input A is 2. Input B sa 3. Then, 5 and 6. 5 and 6. Is naka-connect sa 1. Then 4 is output. LED. Then i-ground natin yung dalawang component. Then, tirayin natin yung circuit. input A and input B is equal to 0. Walang ilaw, meaning output is equal to 0. Then, input A is equal to 0, then input B is nasa 1. Umilaw, meaning output is equal to 1. Input A is equal to 1, then input B is equal to 0. Umilaw yung LED, meaning output is equal to 1. Input A and B is nasa 1. Umilaw yung LED, meaning output is equal to 1. Part 7 na experiment is about AND operation using NOR gate. So, ang ginamit na IC dito is 7402. Una, buuin muna natin yung circuit. 2 and 3 nakakonect sa input A. 2 and 3. Next sa input A. Then, 5 and 6. 5 and 6. Nakakonect siya sa input B. Then 8 and 9, yung 8 nakakonect sa 1. Then yung 9 nakakonect sa 4. Then nasa 10 yung output. Then i-ground natin IC and yung LED. Then try natin yung circuit. Input A and input B is nasa 0. Walang ilaw yung LED, meaning output is equal to 0. Input A is equal to 0, then input B is nasa 0, then nasa 1. Walang ilaw yung LED, meaning output is equal to 0. Input A is nasa 1. Input B is nasa 0. Walang ilaw yung LED, meaning output is equal to 0. Input A is equal to 1, then input B is equal to 1. Output is equal to 1, meaning may ilaw yung LED. So, part 8 na experiment is about NAND operation using NOR gate. So, ang ginamit na IC dito is 7402. So, buuin muna natin yung circuit. 2 and 3 nakakonect sa input A. Five and 6 nakakonect sa input B. Then 8 and 9 nakakonect sa 1. Nakakonect siya sa 1. Yung 8 nakakonect sa 1, then yung 9 nakakonect sa 4. Then yung 11 and 12 nakakonect sa 10. Nakakonect siya sa 10. Then 13 is yung output. Ground natin yung IC. Then yung LED. Then try natin yung circuit. Positive. Negative. Umakanap muna natin ito. So, try muna natin yung circuit. A is equal to 0, B is equal to 0. A is equal to 0. Umilaw yung LED meaning output is equal to 1. A is equal to 0, B is equal to 1. Umilaw yung LED meaning output is equal to 1. Input A is equal to 1. Then input B is equal to 0. Umilaw yung LED meaning output is equal to 1. Input A and B is nasa 1 parehas. Output is equal to 0. Walang ilaw yung LED. Hence, with this experimentation of universal gates, I have learned that we can use various gates to turn it into another functioning gate, and on how we can combine this IC to make an output that are based on different operations. Clearly, countless interactions can be made through the use of universal gates. All of these experiments made by understanding on how these circuits can be done. Also, another thing to note is that these lessons will be a gateway to me once I get in the professional world. This is why it was very important to me to have done this and executed well.